All right, everybody, Adam and Mike, Just the Tips podcast. We hit double digits, episode 10, coming at you.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
So we got a lot to talk about, but we have to welcome our sponsors first. Big Sundog Eyewear.
Let's go. Got the Elwoods.
I've been working all day, so I don't have mine.
No, I was just down in Miami for a business trip, a non-Just the Tips business trip, and Sundogs work awesome for travel, and were exactly what I needed down there in that Miami sunshine. 80 degrees this week.
These things are the best.
They really are, man.
Also, Shaft Wraps. Shout out to Shaft Wraps. You'll be seeing that coming soon.
Yep.
And
our boy Todd Hutchinson from Ball Hawker. Get your gently used golf balls direct from Florida. We got some cool content coming out this week for Todd. Thinking about getting good balls for bad weather, good balls for practice rounds, good balls for water holes, good balls when you're just not the type of player that's going to drop $60 on a dozen Pro Vs.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like, you know, these balls are they're kind of getting a little ridiculous. You know, what are they going up to now? They're going up to 60?
They're at 60, you go 65, and if you buy a sleeve, you start talking $17, $18 for three balls.
Yeah, especially at your local club. You know what I mean?
Did you see the new ball that just came out? Titleist brought out, brand new. That's at the PGA show.
No.
Right? It's got this new technology in the ball, right?
Really?
And if it gets anywhere within 6 inches of a hole, it dives right into it. They say just don't keep it in your back pocket.
All right, good one. You got jokes. All right, cool. Well, you just got back from Miami, bro.
I did. So, like I said, a quick trip down with the company to beat the winter blues executive meeting in Miami, Florida. The only trick was I thought I was going to South Beach. We went to the Sheraton in the airport, and but it was 80 degrees. It was still lovely. But I travel a lot. And the interesting thing is there's travel days. We talk about them all the time. There's days where just everything goes right? You get the security lines are short. You know, there's nobody in the seat next to you on the plane. The flight is smooth. Yeah. Your bag is the first one out of the carousel. I did not have an A day yesterday on the trip back, but I do work out at Maximum Results Fitness with the best trainer in the universe, and we talk about functional fitness. So I was having a couple of beers in the lounge, about a half hour or so before.
That's not on the plan.
It's on the pre-flight plan. That's what I'll tell you what. So I was in Miami's airport, and the bar I was at was like at gate D30, and the plane was D46. So like 40 minutes before the plane, I pay my bill. I walk, and to walk from 30 to 46 was like a 10-minute walk. And I get there, and it's like Miami to like Uzbekistan or something. Definitely not my gate anymore, right? So every once in a while, you get a last-minute gate change. And I look down, and it says, your gate's changed to D9, right? And I'm like, holy cow. I'm like, it just took me 10 minutes to walk 15 gates. I now have to walk 39 gates. So I take off at a pretty brisk run. I ran for 20 minutes straight without stopping. Full back. I only had my backpack, my carry-on, my suits. 20-minute run without stopping, and I got there 2 seconds. They see me coming. They're like, you better get over here.
Really?
Right? I get on the plane, sweating profusely, out of breath. But I'm telling you, if I wasn't working out, I couldn't have made that run. I would have missed that flight.
Yeah, see, functional fitness.
Yep. So I get on the flight, and I sit down. I put my headphones on. We take off, and the baby in front of me got to be 6 months old, 7 months old, screaming the entire flight.
I thought you were going to tell me that she just like threw up on you over the back of the seat also.
So I got my my headphones in, so not that big of a deal because I can still hear the baby over what I'm listening to, but it's not that bad. I feel like worse for the parents. Like, can you just imagine this kid's just screaming, just inconsolable?
Well, some good parents do care. There's other parents that I don't care.
Yeah, no, these folks, you could tell, like the mom and the dad were just in agony over what this kid's doing. But then we're starting the descent, and during the descent, you can't get up, you can't move around, you can't do anything. And this kid craps his pants so bad and just stinks up the entire cabin. And it's like a 30-minute descent. Right now, I can still taste what that smells like. It's so bad.
This is a corn. It's a peach.
Dude, oh, it's brutal. So not an A travel day.
Definitely not.
But good to be back here in the Hudson Valley. Good to be
Yep,
back here
and
with
you
you
hit the
shooting the
gym
podcast.
today.
Yeah.
So that's good. No excuses. I love it.
Yep.
But hopefully, our trip down to Florida in a couple weeks is an A day.
I warmed up Florida for us.
Yeah, I'm glad you got the crappy travel out of the way because we're flying together.
Yeah.
What do we think? What's the countdown? We got 17 days.
Yeah, it's right there. So, 17 days to go.
17
I
days.
just got my new golf travel bag.
Oh, yeah, fancy.
Well, we never traveled a lot. So when we went to Puerto Rico, we were borrowing them from friends.
Yeah, and I think it's time to bite the bullet and just I guess we just have to come to terms that we're going to travel a lot.
We're going to be traveling a lot and playing a lot of golf, and it's just the way things are.
And we just have to deal with it.
Exactly.
That's
I think we'll be okay.
If any of our sponsors want to give us travel bags, that's fine too.
By the way, we were looking at some purchases that we had made today, and I look in Mike's Amazon cart, and he's got a $250,000 motorhome in there. Just in case.
I got a few things saved. Top of mind.
Yep. I love it.
But so we're headed to Florida in 17 days. We're playing 4 days, 36 holes each day. We're trying to get in an extra practice round the day before. So we're looking forward to that. We have all of our gears all set up and running. We got a few new toys and tricks up our sleeve for that trip. I made one of them.
So tell me about that because
I kind of wanted to be a surprise, but I'm pretty pumped about it because I don't like what's out on the market right now.
Yeah.
Right. So there is this tripod spike. It's not even a tripod, hence the name.
It's a monopod.
Unipod. It's a spike in the ground, pole, magnet holder to hold your phone, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not a big magnet guy on my phone, right? I am a Samsung guy, so I have a Z Fold 5. This
phone's like this big, and it weighs almost exactly the same.
So I don't want to put a magnet on it. Plus, the whole magnet thing with the room key magnet on your phone, like I just don't think they should go hand in hand. So, and the top of this thing is only magnet.
Yeah.
So I made
and it's
my own.
expensive. It's like $80
Yeah, it's
too.
$80, and not that I don't know. It's definitely not worth it.
No,
right?
not
I'm
worth
not
$80.
ripping on the company or whatever, but
If they wanted to send us free, we'd use them all day and talk nice about it.
I don't know if I still would though.
No?
No, because of the magnet.
Oh,
Right?
true,
Every camera tripod top, whatever that's called, has a 3mm screw bottom.
Yeah.
And you can attach it to different things. You can GoPros and DJIs.
It's like standard.
Yeah, they have a standard top.
Yeah,
top.
thread thing, but it's like an industry standard. Like any photo equipment, like you could get a SLR camera, and on the bottom of the tripod, you could screw it on.
So that's what all of our stuff has. So I spent a couple hours at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Talked to a couple guys who clearly had no idea what I was trying to do. So I messed around in the plumbing area. I messed around in a couple of, the PVC pipe area, like all those things. Finally made my way over to the wood section and found a good dowel. It was I think it's meant to be a shovel dowel.
Like a garden shovel.
Yeah,
Like
and
a
it
garden
has
shovel
a tapered
handle.
end, so you would put that into the shovel head. And I grabbed that, and I went over to the screw section, messed around over there, found a couple different things I wanted to work on, and got home.
Yeah.
And messed around, and we're up and running, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
So we got the homemade camera stand, because one of the things when I think about playing 36 holes a day, I know playing golf for 18 holes and videoing gets exhausting. Doing it 36 a day for 4 days in a row is going to be a lot. So I love the fact that you said, hey, let's do something that makes things easy. It could just sit in the bag. It could go in the ground, but it's not going to disrupt our playing partner.
That's the big thing, right? So we're playing with 6 other dudes who want to win, right? We got matches going. They want to win. They don't care about our channel.
Yeah. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you just record me real quick? As
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, you know
don't
what I mean?
be that guy.
Right. So we have this spike steak thing that can be right in our bag, or I would say in between the bags, maybe whatever, in the back of the cart. Stick it in the ground. Hit record. Record yourself. Good to go.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
And dual use. I want to be able to put something on the top, like those umbrella bag supports.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we can also have it in our travel bag.
Yeah. So coming to a theater near you, the discount camera spike /
and it's
lightweight.
It's lightweight.
All right.
I don't know how much the commercial one weighs, but when I was in that plumbing section, dude,
40 pounds.
that thing, the lightest pole or pipe or whatever it was that I found the lightest one had to be 15 pounds. I'm like, I don't have 15 pounds to give on my travel bag. Right? Like I'm 6 pounds shy.
I need an extra pair of shoes, instead of that.
Yeah.
So very cool. Well, I'm excited. I know, while I was jerking around in Miami, you're back here building things. And
we're rocking and rolling while you were gone, man. Yeah. We got a couple things up and running, but yeah.
We got good news about a new piece of technology too that we got up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was up and running.
It was up and flying, and then it was crashing.
Yeah. So we got a drone. We got a really nice drone. These things are cool. This thing is really, really cool to fly. You had gotten everything functional right before you left, and then handed it off to me. I flew it around a little bit, practiced a little bit, because I've had 2 of these in the past, but like the toy versions for my kids. Those things are hard to fly.
Yeah.
Well, when you handed this thing off to me, you're like, dude, check this out. And we flew it around out back.
Yep.
And I was like, this thing's easy, so easy and smooth.
And it's nice to know the roof of Maximum Results Fitness is in perfect condition.
Yeah,
it's in excellent
Uptown
condition.
Looks great.
It looks good from the sky.
But, I took it home, flew it some more. Always be charging, ABC. Always be charging. And then I brought it here inside the gym and flew it around and broke one of the propellers.
That'll happen.
And then we had a couple replacements, and I broke another one. And now we no longer have replacements, so we got to order some. But she's up and running. She's solid. It's good. So we got to give her a nickname.
Oh, the copter, the quad?
Yeah.
Something cool?
Yeah, we'll come up with it.
Can we please call it Paige Spearnack? Can we call her drone Paige?
There's a video out with her and Bryson now, and it's sporadic.
Sporadic?
Yeah, that's her last name.
Who cares? Who cares? I don't care.
Just saying. If we get her on the show, you'll care.
Oh, 100%.
You better call her by the right name.
Listen, I just got Todd Hutchinson right, and that's the easiest name in the world. All right, Todd Ballhawker, let's go. We'll put a sexy name on her.
Yeah.
All right.
It could be something cool. Yeah.
But so that's good news. So we got some technology coming. We got some golf events coming on. Very excited. Talking to Big Bird Brandon Kraft. Shout out to you. He sent me. I go 36 holes, man, in a day. I said one day is one thing, but every day is something else. What's the most golf that you ever played? Like
days?
Days and the holes. I think this will be the most I ever played.
Oh, this is definitely going to be the most, for sure. I think the most I ever played in one day was like, what's 36 plus another 9? 45. I think the most I played was like 45, maybe like a 47. Yep. Got an extra 2 holes in one day, But then what'd you do the next day? You didn't do 36. You didn't do 36 the day after that. Bed. Yeah. I definitely didn't play a lot in consecutive days. Maybe the most I ever did was like 36 and then 18 the next day. But we did that in Myrtle.
Yep.
But
so talking to Bird, he said, I said, Mike and I can't wait. We're totally pumped. I'm already packed. How does everybody stand up to 36 holes a day times 4 days? And he said.
Hey, hang on. Let's pause you there because, how old are you?
47.
I'm
Yeah.
41. You've been working out. I've been in the gym my whole life. You know, Brandon's in pretty good shape, but he's got a little bit of a bad back.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got a couple other guys in here that fitness isn't really in their top 5 things that they prefer to do.
Also true. And we got a guy who's, twice your age, almost.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a beast, so I'm not even worried about him. I'm worried about maybe a couple of the other guys.
So Bird's comments, and this was important. He says, "Hey, I've been watching you guys, and the work you're putting into the gym will surely be beneficial. But bottom line, it's a grind." He goes, "But I love it." He said, "Typically, we get up at 4:50 a.m., shower, coffee, etc. Leave for the course by 6. On the driving range by 7:30. Play 18 holes." Lunches at 12:30, back 9 tee times are already set up, or back 18 tee times are already set up for 1 o'clock. Done at dark, back to the house for dinner, times 4.
Go to bed, right?
That's it.
Right. So
My wife's like, "You guys are gonna be partying." I'm like, I don't.
That's what people don't really understand. Like Instagram shows this luxurious life of strip clubs and drinking and hot tubs and
We're 11
jumping off the pool. I'm like, dude, I'm going to bed.
We were 11 minutes from Disney, and I'd be like, "It'd be cool to go over to Epcot, and have." And we're not. Are you
So
kidding?
I'll be honest here. This is like a moment for me. So I've been kind of like patting myself on the back this last, pretty much since I agreed to go to the trip down to Florida.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really want to drink. I'm not looking forward to it, and I probably don't want to because I really want to shoot a lot of footage. I want to get some really good footage. I want to edit. I want to mess around, and I want to have some good content. I'm not going to have time to drink. So it's not even like I'm doing it on purpose.
Yep. So my thing is I don't drink on the course, but I really am looking forward. They're saying the first day they get down there, they go to the butcher and buy tomahawk steaks and stuff like that, and a couple of good bottles of bourbon. But I can't wait to. I'm like, my question is every day, is it going to be 2 or 3 cigars every day? Because I could be like one on the front, one on the back, and one after dinner.
Here's my thing, though. Do we really need these butcher tomahawk steaks? Because we're going to be so hungry that your shoe is going to taste good. Okay.
Well, our host for this is also a renowned barbecue expert.
Yeah.
And is really looking
But
forward
I'm
to showing
telling
off
you,
his
dude,
skills.
if he literally grabs a chunk like my divot and throws it on the grill, I'm gonna eat it.
So interesting that when you play 18 holes of golf under competition conditions, even in a golf cart, it's 1,000 calories, right? So twice a day, it's 2,000 calories plus whatever your body's burning. You should be able to eat like animals down there.
That's what I mean. Dude. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like I said, so I'm pumped. I'm really looking forward to it. We got a great plan, a great bunch of guys. Long-term forecast, back up into the low 70s.
Ooh.
72
Nice.
every day. Yeah, let's go.
And guess what? You know what? It's not terrible out here, but we are still in the middle of winter in upstate New York. We've gotten some posts out there where, we're getting some love. We got, a guy from Wisconsin today commented. People are definitely feeling the winter blues with us.
Yep.
And it's, we got a couple of requests out there too. We got somebody say, "Hey, come to Southern Florida." We got ball hawkers in Northern Florida. I had a guy, "Hey, Texas is fine right now.
Yeah.
Arizona." It's like, all right, man.
Yep. Got my golf bag.
We are going to start taking some people up on some of these offers because, this is getting rusty.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is we even noticed, and we were talking about, it's like not a dip in content, but it's like, how much time are we going to talk about the simulator? How much time? It's like, man.
We have video.
Yeah.
We have tons of video of us playing golf. But guess what? I don't want to chop up a video of me playing golf in shorts.
Yes.
Because it just makes me mad that I'm not in shorts right now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But no, it's, it is what it is. We've dealt with it our whole life. I don't know why we live here, but they say it's pretty.
So I get the push notifications from Zillow for condos in Pauley's Plantation. I found there's a shout out to Myrtle Beach Real Estate. There's a nice house for sale right now on hole number 12 at Pauley's Plantation.
It's only $2.5 million.
It's really not that bad. Those houses, the property's really expensive, but
Yeah.
you can get into something sweet inside of $1 million. A little fixer upper.
Then we can sell balls there.
We can sell balls, right off the back.
So I
porch.
will tell you this. Again, We're in upstate New York. We're in the Hudson Valley. It is beautiful here. I hate the snow. If you like the change of seasons, it's great. I remember being on the golf course in Kiawah Island, ocean course. Literally, if some of my drives would go into the ocean.
Really?
Right. That's it's the ocean course, and
Yeah.
this is a real ocean course. And I remember being on the 14th green, and it's literally on the ocean, and these guys would be like, "Oh man, it's gorgeous." But then they would ask me where I'm from because I don't have a southern accent. Where are you from? I'm like, "Oh, upstate New York." And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's gorgeous up there." I'm like, "Guys, look where you are. Like palm trees and sand and ocean."
I think no matter, especially no matter where you grow up, you get used to stuff. Like for me growing up here, I think it's beautiful. It's but I was riding my mountain bike one time, and I ran into a lady who had traveled here from France to mountain bike in our mountains. And I said, "Do you guys have like the Alps and the Pyrenees and crap?" And she goes, No. She goes, "One of the most beautiful places to mountain bike is in the upstate New York and the Catskills." Now you go down to Florida, and I'm on South Beach. I'm wearing my white linen suit, my no socks, my Don Johnson sunglasses.
Yeah.
Actually, they're my sun dog Don Johnson sunglasses. But and you're like, "This is beautiful, right?" But the people down there, same thing. You get to the Southwest, it looks like you're on Mars. But if you grew up there, this has to be beautiful. But
I don't know.
I don't know. You
You
guys,
don't hear too many stories about people moving from Florida to New York. It's usually the other way around.
So Schwarzenegger's been on a book tour lately, and I know you're a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. And what I love about every interview that I hear with him is he brags about America in general.
Yeah, oh
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
been,
yeah.
like America's been so good to him.
Yeah.
But he puts it this way. He goes when he goes around the world, nobody ever says, "Arnold, help me get into China. Arnold, help me get into Russia." He goes,
Yeah,
they're
he
all
talks-
saying, "Help me get into America."
Yeah, he talks about that
So-
big in his documentary that's on. I think it's on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep. But yeah, you're right. Nobody's asking, "Hey, can I?" The old saying is the last
I
one.
mean, you look up the stats of like whatever that's called when they're exiting New York. Like, look at the numbers.
Refugees. Are they,
That's a different podcast.
The Trail of Tears to somewhere south of the Mason-Dixon.
Yeah, like you see the numbers of like people exiting New York, and regardless of where they're going, except Kingston was number 2 during COVID. Kingston was the number 2 town in the country that people moved to, and Hudson, New York, which is just a half hour north, was number 1 in the country.
Well, again,
But there was a mass exodus from
New York City,
yeah.
the biggest city in the world, and not for nothing, but we saw it just post 9/11, and then we saw it again during the pandemic. Folks are like, "All right, enough of New York City. I'm going to Westchester." And then the folks from Westchester are like, "I can sell my house for $1 gazillion. Man, where am I going to go? I'm going to go an hour north."
Yep.
And that's here. And nobody wants to go anywhere north of here.
Well,
right?
I think growing up and always wondering, like we've always had celebrities that lived
Oh, yeah.
in our area.
Julia Roberts, Richard Gere.
Dude, I mean, I remember being an 18 or 19, 20-year-old and hearing about Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
And you'd always see those like their 2 fancy cars driving around.
In Old Rondout Country Club, Liv Tyler came and played there.
Yeah.
And in a regular scramble, and I was like, I gave the bartender $20. I'm like, if she ever comes here again,
Here's my number.
There's a small gym in Stone Ridge, and Daniel Craig was spotted
Yeah.
there.
Dude.
I lost 20 pounds looking for him.
So
I was gonna. Me and James Bond were gonna be friends. I knew it.
He's my man crush.
Oh,
he's
dude.
my man, except he's like 5'5", right?
Is he?
I heard he's short.
Most
I
of
don't care.
most of the great guys are. Most of us, Tom Cruise, Napoleon, Daniel Craig. Come on.
So I trained a client. He drove a Toyota Tundra,
Mm-hmm.
and I trained a client who worked in the service area at Toyota,
Mm-hmm.
and she said his what is that called?
What is it, like a manager?
Assistant,
or
like an assistant.
Oh yeah.
Dropped it off.
PA.
And I was like, here's a stack of my business cards, my personal trading cards. Just leave them in his, and no, that never happened. But yeah.
So off the topic a little bit, I'm in the gym in Miami, right? I'm working out with a guy, and we got talking about, me and this other guy got talking about Reacher, and he brought up that he showed me that he was on American Idol.
This guy was? The
Or-
guy you
no,
were working on?
the Reacher. What's his name?
Alan
Yeah.
something. He was on American Idol?
American Idol.
Like singing?
He did well, and he got in front of Paula Abdul. This is how long ago it was. But he's an unbelievable looking guy. He's got to be like 19 years
He wasn't
old.
jacked though then.
No,
I mean, he was in good shape.
He was like an underwear model though.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then,
so he's in good shape.
Then he recommended a TV show, something blue, something about it's like a football show, like a high school
Blue Mountain State.
Blue Mountain State,
yeah.
And he said he was awesome in that too. So
And
I
then
got to get home.
My girlfriend was watching New Girl. Did you ever watch New Girl? It's a funny show. It's super funny. There's two like sneaky good funny guys in there.
But there's one old girl, and then there's a
New Girl? Zoe Deschanel. She's in it. She's the new girl. Deschanel, sorry.
I don't know.
He just shows up in that. So she's like watching, and I'm on my phone or whatever, and she's like, "Is that Reacher?" And I'm like, "It is." And I'm like, "Dude, imagine all the stuff that he was in." But watch
Very
Reacher.
cool.
Awesome show.
It's a golf channel. Let's get back to.
Yeah, I mean.
So we're beating the winter blues by working out, watching Reacher, and going to the simulator.
Yeah. And following news in golf. Tiger left Nike. I think a lot of people saw it coming.
So it's funny because one of the things I noticed about having a podcast is you have to prepare for this. Like I think I'm a smart guy that we can just sit down and talk about anything.
No.
And then we start.
You're not smart. No. I'm just kidding.
No, but all of a sudden you realize all the things that you don't know, and you go, okay, so a few days before, if we're going to talk about Tiger, so I start watching all these podcasts and all this different stuff on Golf Channel. They saw this coming a long way off.
I saw it. I mean,
definitely way before the first of the year. But what they were talking about is that they knew the relationship was coming to an end, but how they wanted to end it was important.
I think a lot of people knew that Nike Golf was coming to an end.
Yep.
And then it turned into, well, wait a minute. Well, what happens? What does that mean with Nike and Tiger?
Yeah.
And he's got, whatever. And it definitely became this obviously social media thing of like, what now? It's Tiger Woods, 27 years old, or 27 years of, being that. And dude, it's Tiger Woods. Yeah. Like, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Nike's not the brand when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was almost like Tiger was doing Nike the favor because that was a whole new dimension for Nike.
So if you read Phil Knight's book, Shoe Dog, excellent biography. If you're into biographies, it's just the book is a lot of fun. It's a great American success story. You don't realize that this guy was trying to buy dinners for top end Japanese executives to get him to make the shoes, and he ran his credit card and he got declined. With the big executives because it's just scrambled. And this was after being in business for like a decade.
Really?
Oh, dude. And
he was Nike then?
Yeah. Well, he was making. I'm not wearing them now. He was importing from Taiwan shoes that he made called Tigers. They re-released them. You can get them from DSW. DSW is not a sponsor. They should be. But the book leads into
Not going to do that, by the way.
What, DSW?
Yeah.
You need a nice pair of Uggs. We'll get you something fuzzy. But it led into how Nike became this global powerhouse. And what they would do is, and kind of cool to listen to somebody starting up something as we're trying to start this this social media business. But they would go to running races and they would sell the shoes out of the trunk of the car. And he would go and it'd be like a 5K, and he's like, "Hey, your shoes are stupid. Buy my shoes, right?" and then he would hire these independent contractors all up and down the West Coast, from Seattle to San Diego, and that's what they do. They go to high school running races and they'd go to track events, and it was such a big deal. I forget what year it was, but they got a pair of shoes in the Olympics. One of the runners decided that he was going to use a pair of Nikes in like the marathon.
Isn't that how like? I think that's how Puma started too, right? Or no, they did that with like a soccer player. Like they got like.
So they got this one guy, and I forget who it was, but he ended up becoming like a partner in this. But after the Olympics, he didn't make any money, and he became part of Nike. But they built this from who can we get to wear our shoes? Who can wear our shoes? Who can wear our shoes? And then obviously that movie came out. Here in the late fall, the Jordan biopic.
Oh yeah.
What was the name of that? This is why I need to do more research.
I don't remember.
No, but it was on Netflix. It was excellent. You know, it had a bunch of good stars in it, and it talked about how they landed Jordan. Like they
Yeah.
were a running shoe company, and then they land Jordan, and then they blow up, right?
Yeah.
So then, you know, it's the early '90s, and this kid just wins an amateur tournament. You know, he won the U.S. Amateur back to back. He's doing things Jack Nicklaus hasn't done. Everybody thinks he's going to turn pro. He says, "I'm not going to turn pro," and then he announces, "Hey, world, here I am. You know, I'm coming for you." They land. I double checked because I misspoke. It was $40 million on the original contract. 27 years they've been together. His last contract was $10 million a year. In that time, Nike came out with shoes that are good. Some of our friends wear the Tiger Woods edition shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the golf
They,
shoes.
they came out with a line of golf clubs, which is notably the Square or the Sasquatch is one of the worst drivers ever created.
Worst? I thought you were going to say best. No, I'm kidding.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm kidding.
My dad had it. You could hear him from the other side of the golf course.
The sound that thing
Here
made.
comes Terry. It sounded like somebody was hitting a Hawaiian punch
Remember the
bottle.
slingshot irons?
Oh, dude. So, and there was in the unauthorized biography of Tiger Woods, they said that they were getting other companies to manufacture Tiger's irons, and they were putting Nike stamps on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, which was totally
They were
crappy. They were Titleist, right? So, but Phil Knight goes back to talk about in the book that when he knew that they were getting better with equipment was when Tiger came to him and said, "If I would have had my ball, I would have won the tournament this weekend." And what they meant was that Nike won. You ever play that? The Nike won? That was
Ball?
the ball. No, me neither.
No.
You ever have a Nike iron driver? No. So that's the problem, right? So Tiger's this iconic brand, right?
Right.
And
Nike couldn't get to the level
yeah.
of Tiger. So that's why I think like it's not a big like
It's not a big.
It's
It's a
news.
non-issue.
It's
a
news.
non-issue, right?
It is news, but it's just not an issue because Nike's still Nike with their other stuff, right? They still got Jordan, they still got, whatever. And Tiger's Tiger, right? Tiger's the brand. And, now he's doing his thing. He's doing Sunday Red with under the TaylorMade umbrella, but he was already playing TaylorMade stuff. But he can just do his own thing. And it's not a big, it's
not a big deal.
And to be honest, we are a little late getting to this because this was last week, maybe 10, maybe 2 weeks ago. And it's already gone. It's not even a big deal.
So here's the other thing, though, and this is I thought was interesting, though. He's good friends with Roger Federer. They're tight.
Yeah.
So Federer in his last year of playing professional tennis got dropped by Nike. The contract ran out. They decided to part ways. Kind of similar. So Federer goes out and he leverages a deal with this clothing company for like $300 million for 10 years. So more than Nike was paying him, right?
Really?
But then for everything but the shoes, he gets this other European shoe company, but he leverages a percentage of the company. The company's up to $10 billion. He's got a 3% share. He's got another $300 grand.
Yeah,
so that $10 million a year that he was getting from Nike is now worth $600 million to this other thing. So they're speculating that they're just using the Roger Federer model for Tiger.
Well, I mean, any of these guys, it's not unknown now on what these guys need to start doing. Because back in the day, these $1 million, they were big, and some of these guys didn't know what to do. They didn't have money managers or the education of this level to know what to do. Yeah. Bobby Bonilla, you're a Mets fan, right?
Yeah,
right?
we were still
Is he
paying
still
him.
getting paid?
Yeah.
Still now, right? That was brilliant.
It was.
Brilliant, right? But he was one of thousands that could pull a contract like that and actually have the the knowledge to do something like that. Whereas some of these guys now they're taking a percentage of the company.
That goes back to that Michael Jordan movie where his mom was the first one. Man, maybe it was over exaggerated, but maybe not. But she was the first one to ever negotiate in a portion of the company or the portion of the proceeds to the thing. All right, I just turned this off. Now it's still on. But here's the other thing that I thought was interesting. All right, so if Tiger follows the Roger Federer model, good for him. He'll make more money, and that's what he needs, right? But
But Tom Brady did the same thing.
yeah,
But Have you seen any Tom Brady
I'm
clothes?
not wearing any Tom Brady clothes. Dude, I met he'd make a sweet
I
pair
don't
of
think
chinos.
I definitely would not fit in the jeans.
I think it'd be something nice to wear to work.
But, you know, and just because you have the name doesn't guarantee it to work.
No.
But
I'll buy Tiger shoes if we're in Champions Gate and they got the Tiger Sunday Red Champions Gate shirt, I'm gonna buy it. You know, I got no problem. But I would have bought it if it was a Nike. I bought it because it's sitting there. Here's the other thing though, and I think this is important. I think the overall change in companies is a non-issue, but Phil Knight in his book defended Tiger when Tiger was going through all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And said like nobody can ever say a bad word about Tiger to me, and was like, you know, that people are imperfect. But if anybody ever said a bad word about him, that that he'd defend him to the death. But did you see the release that that Nike sent out about the end of the relationship?
I think I saw it briefly, and it was a nice.
It was really nice.
Yeah. There was definitely no bad blood there by any means, and it's really cool because Tiger wrote something really nice, and then Nike wrote something really nice.
Which again doesn't make for great news, but
and that's why I don't think it was such a huge deal, but social media and the Golf Channel and everybody really blew this thing up, and I'm like, dude, it is what it is. I mean, this is what's happening. Is I think the athletes are starting to learn their worth, and that you don't need to hunker down on and find these companies that basically are bloodsuckers.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Nike did that, but some of them are, right?
Yep.
Phil just he's not signed to Callaway.
No.
He's not. He just him and Callaway just split. He still said he's going to play the balls and still loves the balls.
Yeah.
But now he's not glued to something, which I think is really, really good. I think it's gonna help the game a little bit and stuff like that.
So I knew a professional golfer that played on the tour in the '80s, and he was under contract from Titleist, and had to play Titleist's gear, right? But Ping came out with a putter that he couldn't miss with, right? And but he wasn't contracted with Ping, so he took the Ping putter and he stuck a Titleist sticker on it.
That's fine.
It's not. It's 100%.
It's fine. This is what Tiger was doing. You just said it was fine with Tiger doing it.
It was, but here's a guy that's a playing pro that's making his living, and he can't.
So he didn't tell Titleist that he was doing it?
Because Titleist, he's not Tiger Woods. He's like number 125 on the money list.
No, I get it. But listen, that's what I mean, right? I think these players are starting to learn that maybe they don't have to sign their name and blood to these companies, and I think the companies are going to have to start dealing with that too.
And I think the partnership, because especially today, partnerships are a little bit different. I think about David Wright, the famous third baseman for the New York Mets.
Never heard of him.
No, excellent,
No, just kidding.
Spectacular. But Life Water, or Vitamin Water, came to him and said, "We want you to sponsor, be the spokesman for Vitamin Water." And they came up with a good offer. It wasn't great. And he said, "Listen," he goes, "why don't you guys keep your money, and I'll partner with you. I'll take a piece of the company." But that did a couple of things. I mean, it put a lot more skin in the game for David Wright. But the company went crazy, and he ended up making like hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's a better collaboration. Plus, the other thing is the social media presence. You get somebody like Tiger Woods. I don't know, he's got a couple million followers. Now he when he hit the ball on 16 at Augusta, and the Nike stood there for a second.
Ball.
It was Nike.
It was Nike. It had a Nike logo on it.
that was, and it goes in, or anytime you see the swoosh on there, that's got a certain value to it, right?
It definitely does.
But if it's his own company and he's got all these folks and he's like, "Hey everybody, here's my new line, check it out, the new shoes and the limited edition this," that's got a very different value to it.
But now let's go back to what we were saying with the Ping sticker, the Titleist sticker and stuff like that. Now David Wright, right? He's in the dugout and there's a Gatorade jug there. But if he owns part of Vitamin Water,
don't stand next to it.
He's not going to.
No.
He's not going to, because he has that skin in the game and he knows what that's worth. Whereas if you're signed, you got a $40 million contract, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just a little bit different to where, like, you know, maybe you're not going to follow all the rules if you're just a minion for that company. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, you know, is it the, you know, let us have these problems. Ball hawker, like I said, you know, we'll either take the 10 million or a third of the company. All right, it's up to you. Like I said, you know, these aren't regular people problems, but you know, it's, you know, what do you want? Do you want, you know, here's a flat fee, and you just play what we give you?
Listen, being in our seat right now, we know that the flat fee is not the good move.
Right.
We know that. And I think a lot of people know that. And I think companies know that, right? They know that, hey, we're going to offer them the flat fee. Hopefully they take it. You know what I mean? But
the skin in the game builds that partnership, has a synergy to it. And
you're getting a better, let's just call it an employee, right? Like, let's just say it's an employee. You're getting a better employee out of it.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you go there? I mean, yeah, okay, they're going to make more money. They're going to take a bigger chunk of your percentage, but your number is going to be higher, right? Like, they're taking 3%, you're getting 97%, but why don't you take 7% of like 100 million instead of like 40 million? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Got it. So keep an eye out for Tiger for his new gear Sunday Red.
Yeah.
And did they finalize that logo?
I think they're going with it. I mean, I think they could have done better. I hope they didn't rush it. You know, obviously, you know, this is kind of, I'm sure Tiger knew for a while. It's not the greatest. I think he could have done a little bit better, but who cares? It's Tiger Woods.
By the way, the story of the Nike swoosh, you know that one?
I know, like, the girl got paid like $6 to $20.
Yeah, she was
nothing.
She was an art student.
Yeah.
And Phil Knight was just not a big. He was a procrastinator, and he was just not a big one for thinking. And they go, we need some sort of logo to put on the side of the shoe. And he said, you're an art student. He said, can you come up with a couple logos? He said, keep it simple. And she came up with a couple things, and he goes, I like that one. She goes, what do you call it? She goes, I don't know, it's kind of like a swoosh. He goes, okay. And they agreed upon $20,
and she got nothing else.
She got $20.
That's it.
That's
like,
all.
Nothing like.
No, because this was the first iteration of Nikes. This is when the guy's getting his credit card declined.
So Wu-Tang kind of was the same way, right?
Yeah.
Like, so RZA, who's, you know, the mastermind behind Wu-Tang, he had like a buddy who he was like a graffiti artist, and kind of almost the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
and he showed up at the dude's house. And he was like, "What do you think?" He was like, "That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
$20.
Yeah. Oh, little Wu-Tang.
Agreed upon, right? So
it's probably something different. A bag of something.
So just one more thing on the way out the door. Kind of cool. The amateur winning.
Yeah, dude.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, definitely cool. I think this is bigger news, but not a whole lot to talk about. That he just can't take his winnings.
So, you got a couple of things. I mean, first off, how many amateurs get a chance to play in a professional tournament?
Yeah.
2, how many are ever in contention? Like, that's one of the things I love.
Last one is Phil Mickelson.
One of the things I love about them.
1991.
Yeah, I love the Masters so much because they let the amateurs play.
Yeah.
And I'm watching these guys to see who's low am.
And that
just as much. That last guy did a great job, but you saw him in the last day of the Masters. He fell apart. And you can only imagine, the difference between an amateur and a professional in that kind of moment,
Yeah.
So, but here's the other.
Rory in when was that? 2009 or 13 or something like that. They literally stopped showing Rory on television because he was just having an absolute meltdown.
But here's the thing that I think is so cool, and this is just the best part of the whole thing is that it's any given Sunday, any day somebody can have the round of their life, and if it happens to be in a big tournament, because
he shot 2 under on the final day, I believe.
He shot 60 on the final day.
60?
60.
Oh, maybe I was reading something else
Yeah.
wrong. But I know
I think it was 2 under going into the final round.
Okay. So I knew that he just had to hold off these guys,
Yep.
because they're hunting and
Yep.
he's hanging on for dear life. He doesn't want to be the story that messed up.
Yep.
So, and he did it.
So
1.5.
1.5 million that he couldn't get.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll take it.
But that's okay. But you mentioned something that's kind of interesting. Well, so here's the thing is the greatest golfer of all time, Bobby Jones. was an amateur, never took $1 in his entire life, right? What's the problem here though with amateur golf, with not being able to compensate these guys? He played the same tournament, he won the damn thing.
We've had this conversation in here in the gym. We have a couple sports fanatics that come in early in the morning, and the next day it's the big talk.
Yeah.
These college football players and basketball players are making money now.
And they should have.
Right. I 100% agree. I mean, you're making the school a ton of money, and you can't. So yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I totally disagree with it.
But now he turned.
But he knew this going in.
Yeah, because you get a chance to play in the tournament. You're gonna go, I'm not gonna play in the tournament.
Yeah, but then you can't get mad afterwards.
I don't think he's mad.
No,
I'm mad for him.
I think a lot of people
because what happens if this was his greatest round ever and he never does anything else, right? You read that famous book from Tales from Q School, right?
Reading this book.
75 Hearts of
I'm
Lovely.
actually reading that book. That's the part 2.
Part 2. There you go. So but Tales from Q School tells you how hard it is, and the chances, and the double bogeys on the last hole to take these guys off. Here, the guy did something great, right? He got a chance to play in the tournament. Didn't know if he'd play again. He wins the tournament. He doesn't get the 1.5 million, but he gets an opportunity to play in other tournaments.
Oh yeah, so he's got exemptions in like most of all the signature events, the Masters, couple other the players, which is going to be great for him. And now he's going pro anyway. So he's turned pro officially.
So give him the money.
So here's my thing. It's like,
give
all right, if you want to go by the rules, because again, if you want to go back to our Live versus PGA podcast.
PGA would have given, or Live would have given him the money.
Oh my God, Live.
They would have given him a chest of gold. They would have came out with two guys holding it like this, and women fanning them. Here you go, amateur.
No, totally agree with you there. So what should PGA do? They should give them the money. Or, you want to go by the rules that the PGA is so vanilla, which I told you about in that podcast, is just stick it in a bank account and let him grab it when he's a pro.
So here's something interesting. When I was a kid and playing amateur golf, I had a friend of mine that got a hole-in-one during a tournament, right? And
I'm already mad about this story, and I don't even know it.
So he gets a hole-in-one, and he wins a car. Right, and now you're 16, 17, 18 years old, and it's like a Toyota Civic, right?
Toyota Civic's not even a car.
It's not. Who makes the Civic? Honda. Whatever. But bottom line, though, the kid got.
It's a sick car.
You're gonna love the Toyota Civic. It's coming out next year. Long story short, though, there was a cash payout that he could take, and he took the 10 grand. The 10 grand eliminates him from being an amateur for 1 year.
Yeah.
So he takes the money, but it was college.
What if he took the car?
Same thing. It had a value of actually more than that, right?
But the car, you gotta still pay the tax and the insurance on. The cash, you can just
income tax. Yeah. But he took the money. It eliminated from him from playing amateur tournaments for a year, right? So I'm like, but why? What the hell's the difference?
For hitting a good shot.
For hitting a good shot. Big deal. Get the kid the car.
Yeah.
And let him play college golf.
Yeah.
Don't.
It's so dumb.
I think I brought it up in podcast episode 2. You can go back and watch them. They're evergreen. You're gonna love them all. But Tiger's in Stanford, right? He's thinking about going pro. Arnold Palmer's in town. The two of them get together at a diner. Arnold Palmer buys Tiger Woods a hamburger. And the governing body of colleges makes Tiger write Arnold Palmer a check for $12.99 to pay him back for that hamburger. What?
Now, here's the deal, right?
I must be missing something.
I get all the rules. I get it because they didn't want, these bigger schools incentivizing these kids to like jump ship or come here. I get it, right? And you're talking about like impressionable kids, right? Like the, a 16-year-old. Hey, I'll give you 4 free, 4 years of school if you come here. Like they do that.
So,
but hey, it's very simple to like persuade these kids, right?
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah. But I mean, when you're talking about making a hole-in-one or winning a freaking golf tournament, you earn that.
So pay him.
I know.
Give it to him.
I agree with you.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm a little against the whole, incentivize, cash or gifts to student athletes to like the whole Tiger Woods thing with Arnold Palmer, give him the money back, whatever. I mean, it's a burger, so it's not a big deal. But then you're talking like, hey, I bought your mom this car. Like, they made movies about that.
So who
What
cares?
was that? Blue Chips? Remember? Did you ever see Blue Chips?
Right, but they were giving them sacks of money if they won the game. Here's your sack of money. You know, I mean, it happens anyway.
I know.
You know?
It definitely happens anyway. It totally does.
I don't know.
You know,
But so my question is did that $1 million, did it go away? Did it get trickled down for the rest of the purse?
I'm sure there's some information out there about what's happening to that, but it literally should sit in a bank account, let it collect interest until the kid turns pro. He's already
this
pro
week.
now, right? So, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Let's pay our amateurs. Let's pay them what they're worth, right? So every once in a while,
You know what they should do?
What?
If that gets trickled down into the rest of every single one of those guys should take that extra little bit that they just got and give it to the kid.
I don't know. I don't get it. Somebody explain it to us. Come on the podcast. Send us an email. I don't get it. If there's a reason behind it and it's legit, I'd love to read it.
I'm sure there's a couple people out there that'd be like, no, this is why it has to be this way. And I'm, whatever. You're right. We're right. Whatever.
I hope he goes plays for Liv.
There is some news about that. I haven't done my homework yet, but there's a couple guys that are jumping ship, and I think people are starting to just not care. They're like, screw it, we're going.
Yeah. Well, like I said, let those guys take the heavy hit, and then when it gets not as terrible. Didn't Rory come out and say something? Didn't he come out and kind of backtrack a little bit? And he was the worst one.
He totally backtracked, and then I think he's messing around on the European tour right now,
Right.
and he's not messing with the American tour, and he's just playing European events.
Nothing wrong with that.
And he's playing in Dubai. He's playing here. He's playing there.
But again, we brought this up, and not to rehash it, but the PGA Tour is the NFL, it's MLB, it's the NBA, right? You want to go play on the European Tour? That's like playing AAA ball. Go knock yourself out, right?
But you can do both.
Right.
That's the thing. That's my biggest thing is you can go play European Tour and not lose any credit on the PGA Tour. And those points still count towards your world ranking.
Yeah, but because you're playing against the best of
but that's
Scandinavia.
It's like literally taking a 3-week vacation from your regular job, but still getting paid. Paid.
And getting paid from the new job.
And
like going that.
But if you do it with Liv, you get fired from your other job.
Yeah, because they're terrible people. No, listen.
We're ending it.
We'll see stuff going on. So we hit a lot today. We really did. So talked about Orlando trip, the Winter Blues, Tiger, and our good amateurs. So again, for our 10th podcast, we're really moving along. Had some exciting stuff. We looked at buying a professional podcast studio today.
Yeah.
The Just the Tips podcast studio might be coming to a theater near you
we
soon.
got a lot of stuff in the works.
Yeah.
2024. Big stuff.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff on this paper on the backside that we were working on.
Ooh, don't show that. Don't show that yet.
Yep. So we got some work to do.
There you go. Well, again, we want to thank our sponsors, Ball Hawker, Sundog, Shaft Wraps. You guys rock. We appreciate it. Shaft Wraps, they're not a sponsor. And again, we should shout out to Maximum Results Fitness, Trevor Alexander, the whole Wiltwick staff. Again, always being good to us. Again, the countdown to April 1st continues.
April 1st. I'm counting down to February 12th, so day after Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Have you decided what you want to do yet?
Yeah.
Stupid.
I'm Adam.
I'm Mike.
Just the tips.
Yo!